We're back out on site looking for Gage Wilson. We're out at Kooyum Range Road. It's just south of the Queensland border, still in New South Wales. Today's beautiful weather, blue skies, and it's late in the afternoon. The plan is to put about an hour's worth of mountain bike riding in. I got mountain bike set up, the e-electric mountain bike. I've got my drones ready to go. I'm going to be running the Matrice 300 with the H20T thermal camera. We're going to wait till dark and then a few hours after dark, 3 or 4 hours, we're going to start running the thermal drone out. So I'll be posting a few things for you to keep a lookout for him, but that's I'm just back at home now on the computer editing this video. So this is the thermal camera on the drone. This is night time. You'll see in the background a bit of a heat source. It's a brighter dot in relation to the other thing. You can also see it's below on the ground level as I rotate around. So it stood out quite clearly for me on the controller. So I'm just repositioning to get a better shot at it. So by me circling around, I'm able to pick up heat coming through the trees. So this is me and my vehicle. You'll notice that it sticks out like dog's balls. Bright red dot in the middle of nowhere. They're quite an effective tool, so if you do have someone go missing, call us within hours. It reduces the search area. If we find them or they come back out of the bush, it's all good, but gives us plenty of time to get it sorted. Here's another obvious heat source. You'll soon pick up what it is once I zoom in a bit closer. What is it? Kangaroo, you said tail sticking out. Takes a little while to work out what it is, and it's either left some droppings behind. Tuesday morning, we're out here looking for Gage. Yeah, so we're going to look at a trail that's off the main road here that goes down a little bit. So just planning a bit of the trip. I'm going to mountain bike today to get most of the way. Here's my cool mountain bike. It's an e-bike. And yeah, it's handy for us old people that don't like walking. Just checking the weather. The wind's looking very light. The radar, yeah, it's not too many concerns. Maybe some rain coming in the next half hour, if anything. Well, it's probably just showers. Winds are about 4 knots from the southwest. We're at the top here. So, Kooyum Range Road. There we go, there's a little bend there and it looks like the track heads off. And we're going to sort of head out here and down that way. Going to mountain bike most of it. And areas of interest probably in around here, cliffs I guess. And yeah, the maps I'm using, just turn that one down. The maps I'm using is called Memory Maps. I'd recommend this to any sort of person involved in search. Memory Maps. It's free to download, but you pay about $60 for all the topo maps. But the good thing about this one here is it's it puts your location exactly where you are on the topo map, and you can actually mark waypoints and stuff in it. And that's called Memory Maps. So download that one and use it. Buy the maps, it's very handy. It stores them in your phone, so when your phone's out of range, you've always got your topos there to run off. Stuff I want to take today, well, I'm going to have, I've got a InReach Mini. It's a Garmin InReach. It tracks my location, and I've got an SOS button, sends a location where I am to the emergency services. I'm going to take a UHF radio. You never know who's monitoring those. I might take a aviation VHF so I can communicate with aircraft. If for some reason an aircraft's going over, I can tap into their frequency and communicate to them in an emergency. I'm licensed to use that one. I'm going to take my mini drone. It's a DJI Mini Pro 4. It's handy, it's lightweight, and it's good for, I might just take one spare battery, and it's good for little searches. If you can't get somewhere, like you're on an edge of a cliff or something and you just don't want to walk over the edge, you can just send this up and have a bit of a look. That's the controller for it. Bit hard with one hand. I'm going to take my Insta360 camera in case we have any need for that. What else will I take? Definitely my phone. Take some spare batteries. That's for the GoPro I'm recording on now, and also the Insta360 camera. Might take a jacket, and I might take some fluids. I'm only going to plan to be out there for a few hours, so that's enough fluids for me. And we'll get on the bike in a sec. So I just started riding through the track here. It's a car access track, but it's really boggy. There's some big mud patches. As I was coming down, I'm probably only about 200 metres into the track so far. Sun's just coming up. I like the electric bike. It's easy to get up hills. I can travel decent distance on it. So yeah, any four-wheel drive coming down here would be a little bit silly, to be honest. It's not the best track. It's about day, 10 plus for Gage being lost. And yeah, this is pretty yucky terrain through here. Looks like a car's been through here, but I don't know how they're going to get back up. So 10 days out here without any sort of supplies is going to be a bit of an issue. It's only odds and ends spots like this. It's not all the way through, so I'm happy to keep going for sure. Yeah, it's just all the low patches. So this is a trail that is quite accessible for him to go from the car crash down. Why you'd want to come down here, I've got no idea. You'd want to stay on the main roads if it was me, but with a head injury, I guess you'll do anything unusual. Yeah, so I left the emergency services. Just doing my own thing now. I find it a bit easier for me to do that. You don't have any politics, bullying, stupid decisions being made by hierarchies. So I can just pick and choose what I want to do now. and make my own decisions without having to ask anyone, get approval. So it makes it easier for me to do stuff like this. You can imagine the risk assessments involved in trying to plan a job like this. I'd probably say no because it's too wet. So, alright, starting to thicken up a bit now. Yeah, I don't see any traces of cars coming down here at all recently. So I'm using my maps here to make sure I'm on the right track. So what am I looking for here? I guess anything abnormal sticking out. Smells. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a lucky dip, but you've got to be in it to win it. Families engaged me because the police had stopped their search. Yeah. There you go, that wasn't in the risk assessment. Yeah, so the cops put in, I think it was maybe 4 days of search and then called it off. So I suppose if it was my kid, I'd want things to continue on, but I can understand that the agencies have got, you know, a budget. We don't charge for these searches if it fits in with what I'm doing for work on my other stuff, and I can fit it in, I'll do it for free. If it's quite long and protracted and they want really 100% focus on it, we'd have to sort of negotiate with that. But I've also put up a GoFundMe page. Wait, and I'm down. Mud everywhere now. Get rid of that. GoFundMe page, so that's to help any search really, not just specifically this one, but this is the one I'm on now. I've got another one going as well, which is Find Patrick. Alright, this looks like where I'm gonna give it a wrap and get off the bike, and I'm going to leave the bike here. Am I going to padlock it? Yeah, I will. I always tell my boys to lock it up. Yeah, so the GoFundMe page, it's just to help, you know, with some fuel, the occasional accommodation if it's needed, equipment. As I said, that drone was $35,000, and after a while the batteries need replacing, and each battery's $1,000, and I need 2 batteries per flight. I've currently got 4 sets of batteries, so 8 batteries in total. So yeah, helps fund that. And I guess most people that can't physically come out here and search and still want to contribute something, then that's probably the way to do it. Let me pull out my memory maps. That might be it here. Yeah, this is it. So I can hear a creek. That was expected. It's on the map. So I'm hoping that creek might be helpful because people need water. And if I was in thirst in need of water, that would be a good spot for me to get a drink from. So the bush here is about medium thickness. It's not the worst. It's easily accessible if you were to walk through bits of it. Looking around, can't see anything, can't smell anything. No recent fires smell. You can definitely drink that water. Might look up there on the way back, I think. I might sort of head down the hill. Memory maps. Good thing about that one here is that it leaves a breadcrumb trail of, oh fuck, of where you've been. So you can always backtrack. A good friend of mine, Kit, he put me onto that one. He's an outdoor expert and that's what he uses, so if he uses it, I'm using it. That looks really slippery. So is that rock. Just get my maps out and see where I am now. The track heads off that way, but I'm going to have a quick look down this creek line. If I was on foot, I would want to head down this way because it looks the most open. It's hard to get into the mind of someone lost, so you just sort of got to try and work out what you would do as your first option. And then once that's been searched, then continue on the search. I'm expecting a large cliff drop over here on the maps. It's showing that it's about 110 metre drop over about a 500 metre span. That's reasonably steep. Crab. I hate getting my feet wet, my shoes wet, so the water height here is actually good at the moment. I don't have to get it over my soles. Okay, I was smelling a breeze coming up the hill. Smells very fresh. I won't get any closer because it's yep, smells good here. Coming across a car here, looks like a quad bike car. So they've obviously started coming up here. They've tried to use a garden hose. I don't know what they've got that for. So this is the type of vehicle that they use on a property. So they've realised that they can't get any further up there. Keys are out of it. If you're out there searching by yourself, you can use the wind to help you out a little bit. So if you've got a wind direction that's pushing through an area that you want to search, be on the downwind side of the breeze, and that way if there's any smells coming through, you can, like a sniffer dog, strong smells, you can pick it up and then sort of follow it in. If you don't have any winds, generally in the morning the breeze comes up the hills. I think that's called anabatic, might be. And in the late afternoons, the wind actually goes the other way, back down the hills, and I think that's called katabatic winds. It's been a while. So you can use those theories to work out which areas you're going to search. Give this a bit of a clean for you. Might be a bit better. Oh. It's good exercise, I guess, if you're into walking. Join a party that's involved in a search for someone. It keeps your mind active. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I was in bed, woke up at 5. Woke up at 3:30 actually and started thinking about things for today. And fell asleep again. Woke up at 5 and headed out here. So it would have been easy to stay in bed for me nowadays. So I'm up and about. I feel great. Just seeing a bit of fog roll through. Made it back. Really muddy through there. You definitely can't take a vehicle down or back on that track coming from the high end.